Alright, what's up guys? Just finished up a busy morning. It's about 12. Been training clients since 6. So I'm actually going to go to Richmond now because I have a little bit of a gap before training clients this afternoon, and try and find some board shorts. Now they probably won't be the ones, or certainly won't be the ones that I'll actually compete in, but I do want to get comfortable in actually posing with board shorts and try and make my posing practice as consistent with the actual competition as I can. So I'm gonna head to Richmond. It's about an hour away. They have more selection with stores, so hopefully I can find some board shorts and see what I find. All right, well, after looking at just about every store, I finally found some board shorts. I guess I should have realized that since it's the end of the summer, nobody's gonna be selling them anymore. But anyway, these aren't the ones that I'd want to compete in, but they'll be just fine for practicing, and that's really all I was looking for anyway. About to head back home now. I have a few more clients this afternoon before I get a good workout in tonight. Just finished up a workout, absolutely killed shoulders. I don't even know how many sets of lateral raise, cable lateral raise, superset with dumbbell lateral raise that we did. Then did some legs. I was actually happy because the other day when I was doing lat pull down, I managed to strain my hamstring again. I was just seated on the lat pull down, bracing with my legs, wasn't even putting pressure on it, and felt a nice little pop. So that was really frustrating, but this is only 3 or 4 days later, and I was able to do some squat press and some leg extensions, so I was still able to at least get a little bit of a pump in my legs. Unfortunately, the gym the last few days really hasn't been going very well for me. I'm still going in I'm still getting everything done, but I'm just not enjoying it right now. I don't honestly think it has anything to do with prep or calories or anything. I'm just kind of in a weird spot right now with my own motivations and things, but still getting in and getting it done. So, that's the only thing that really matters in the end. I do need to change my outlook a little bit on the gym. So much of it is just mental. I don't like having it hanging over me and knowing that at the end of the day, after training clients, that I still have to go if I'm already feeling a little bit sluggish and fatigued. I think I need to go back to training in the early afternoon because I tend to have better energy at that point. So evaluate your training. Try and be as unbiased about it as you can. Understand when you're just having an off day and when there's something that you can actually change to improve your performance. So I wanted to do another voiceover of my workout and go through another full back workout, as well as to give you guys some tips that you might actually find to be helpful in your own training. So the first movement I started with this day was a lat pull down. Now the lat pull down is a pretty straightforward exercise, but make sure you're getting a stretch up at the top, leaning back slightly to increase the range of motion, and then bringing that all the way down to the collarbone. From there, we went on and did a cable row. The cable row, I see a lot of people using momentum, using the spinal erectors, other muscles around the lower back to bring the weight back. I don't like to see much movement from the torso when doing the cable row. All of that movement should be restricted to the arms, getting a nice stretch through the lats, and then making sure that you are getting a good contraction. From there, we went on to the barbell row. The barbell row is an exercise that I see people go really heavy on a lot, and a lot of times if you ask people what's a good exercise to build a big back, they'll say heavy barbell rows. I actually don't really find barbell rows to be a very good exercise to go heavy on. That's generally when you're going to see people use some momentum and they're not controlling the weight the whole time. If you're not controlling the weight the whole time, you're not getting an efficient contraction from the muscle. From there, we went on to this hammer strength. I think it's a high row. I can't remember exactly what this one's called. This is one of my favorite machines, though. It's sort of a hybrid between a vertical pulling motion and a horizontal pulling motion. I really, really like the feel of this one, especially towards the end of the workout. Going higher rep, lighter weight tends to work really, really well for me. So if you have one of these at your gym, I definitely recommend trying it out. Then this cable row was something that I sort of came up with on the day. I used a hammer strength machine that had a very similar range of motion to this, and I really liked that, but I've never seen that anywhere else. So I realized that I could do it sort of a modified cable row, and I really focused on bringing the elbow out to the side to make sure that I was really activating the rear delt and the other muscles of the upper back, and really making sure that I was controlling the weight and trying to limit the rotation of my torso and keep most of that movement to my arm. So, screwed up my wrist. The other day I was at the gym and there was a guy box squatting and he was doing 275 and I was benching right next to him, and I had actually stopped because I didn't start my set because I thought I was gonna have to run over and pull the bar off this guy the way he was squatting, and just looked dangerous. Sure enough, he decides to move up to 315 and ask me to spot him. So on one hand, I'm thinking, well, at least he asked for a spot, but I'm thinking, with the way you were struggling with 275, there's no way you're getting 315. Well, I was wrong. He did get 315 for 2, but completely failed at the bottom of the third one. So I pulled the bar up off him, and then I thought he was going to go rack it because he hadn't made it up on 3. And then all of a sudden, and I'm still holding the bar in a bad position, and all of a sudden he says another one and just drops back down into the hole. Well, I'm still holding the bar because I expected him to go rack it, and yeah, so bad position for my wrist, strained it as the bar started to come back down. I should have picked a better grip. I shouldn't have agreed to spot him in the first place. Really frustrating that this is now the position that I'm in. I've had some issues with this wrist since college, so it's probably been 3 years or so. I was playing soccer once and the ball hit me right in the fingers and bent my wrist back, and it was really, really swollen, and I got x-rays and everything at that point, and they said it was just a sprain. But I've had issues with this wrist ever since, so I don't think it's anything too serious. I was looking online, looking up the symptoms. It said 4 to 6 weeks. I don't have 4 to 6 weeks that I can take off. I'm not going to take 4 to 6 weeks off. So I hope that if I just brace it, I braced it yesterday and I braced it today because it's the rotational stuff that really bothers it. So I'm going to go get a leg workout in right now, not stress my wrist today. And then, I mean, tomorrow I got to get back to lifting. So I'm going to see how well I can wrap it up and then just see what combination of straps and wraps and things I can get to be able to lift on this comfortably. It's not ideal. I'm going to find a way to make it work. I'm 7 weeks out from the show today. Not going to let something so silly like this slow me down, but it is really frustrating. But going to go take out some frustrations on a good leg workout and then just play it by ear. Ibuprofen, ice, and just keep resting it. All right, just finished up a full upper body workout. Felt so good to get back in the gym. I realized I actually only took off 2 unscheduled rest days, but it felt like forever just knowing that I actually couldn't be in the gym. Wrist held up pretty well. I got the longer gangster slingshot wrist wrap, so I got the 36-inch ones. And if I wear that consistently throughout the workout, it stabilizes my wrist enough that I'm able to do most things. My wrist is definitely pretty sore right now. I'm gonna make sure that I ice it well tonight. But I don't think it's really going to be anything that really hinders my training as long as I'm smart about it. So felt great to get back into the gym tonight. Felt great to get a pump again. Tomorrow will be a little bit more chest and then a lower body workout. So looking forward to that one as well and just getting right back into the swing of things without lifting. Even though I've still been hitting my macros and dieting and everything, without actually lifting, I just feel like I've been spinning my wheels a little bit. So mentally and physically, just felt great to get back into the gym tonight. 6 weeks out physique update. Just relaxed. Flexed. 209.4 today. Well, I can't believe it, but I'm 6 weeks out from the show today. I wanted to combine the 6 week out and 7 week out update videos because with that wrist injury I had with that wrist sprain, wasn't really able to get any content for the videos because I wasn't actually able to work out for a few days. That is definitely feeling a little bit better as long as I strap it properly in the gym. Doesn't really hinder anything that I do. Definitely is pretty sore. The last 2 weeks I made good progress, down quite a few more pounds. Today I woke up at 209.4, 6 weeks out from the show. Still have quite a bit left to push, still a little bit more to lose. So I wouldn't be surprised if I'm losing a pound, maybe a little bit more each of these next 5 weeks before peak week. Weight doesn't really matter on stage. I was hoping maybe that I'd put on maybe a little bit more lean mass so I could compete right around 210 or something, but I think that was just a little bit optimistic. I have noticed that my upper body's leaned out quite a bit slower than my lower body, which has started to mess with my head a little bit over the last 2 weeks because, well, I've been seeing progress in other places. For example, my abs is where I tend up holding most of my fat is right over my abdomen, so I really haven't seen too much progress there. So that's been a little bit frustrating. But over the last probably 2, 3, 4 days maybe, I have started to notice things tighten up, and I'm really happy with where I am still. I think I'll probably end up down around 205 or something before peak week. Again, weight doesn't really matter. That's right around what I was thinking, 205, 210, something like that. Training's been going well, bar the wrist injury. Strength is still holding pretty steady. Energy's holding pretty steady, even as I have had to drop my calories decently low for me. I still am eating around 3350 each day. So, that's still probably more than some people are bulking on, but that's one of the benefits of being 6'4" and 200 plus pounds. I've really been working a lot more on my posing, and I've gotten pretty comfortable with my physique posing. I'm still working on classic physique. That one's a lot more intensive. Obviously, I have an individual routine along with that. So I'm still working out what song I want to use and, putting together that. But the physique stuff I'm very, very comfortable with, and physique is definitely still my priority for this show. I think it's inevitable, especially as it gets towards the end of prep, that you do start to suffer from a little bit of prep brain or whatever you want to call it. I have noticed that I've started to overthink things a lot, so it's been really, really helpful to have a coach. For example, last night I had a nightmare that I went to the show and was getting ready and getting pumped up and everything, and they wouldn't actually let me go out on stage because they told me I wasn't big enough to compete anymore. And 10 weeks ago I was about 23 pounds heavier. So I have noticed the difference just in terms of walking around. When I'm at the gym and I have a good pump, I feel like I look great, but when I'm just walking around during the day, I definitely do notice that walking around 23 pounds lighter is pretty significant. I'm really trying to stay objective about it, not let that get to my head. And as I said, it's been really, really helpful to have a coach that really knows what he's doing, that I have full confidence in, and that is going to sort of talk me off any ledges that I maybe get to mentally. So I'm all set up to make some good progress again this next week. Still working around a few injuries with my wrist. My hamstring occasionally still bothers me, still not able to go back and do everything quite comfortably, but everyone's always going to have things to work around. It's not anything that's really hindering my training as long as I'm smart about it. The way that my calories are adjusted right now, a little over 3,300. I expect to lose around another pound or so this next week. And what I am noticing is that with every pound that I'm losing now, it's much more evident with the progress. At the beginning of prep, I'd lose, fluctuate a pound or 2 pounds, and it really wouldn't look that different. Every pound I really am noticing a difference. So that is also really rewarding to be able to see the changes in the mirror. And to really feel like now I am getting close to show ready. So I'm gonna have another video up next weekend of my 5-week update. Can't believe that it's getting so close to showtime. I'm really, really excited, but I know that I have a lot of work to put in between now and then. So check back for that update video. I really appreciate you guys watching as always. If you have any feedback, positive or negative, or any questions, anything that you want me to cover in these videos, definitely let me know. Either shoot me a message or leave a comment down below.